Welcome to Senior Savvy. I'm Jane Wells, your host for today's show. Senior Savvy is brought to you by the Oshkosh Senior Center, where it's our mission to enrich the quality of life for adults ages 50 and older. And we all know that one of the ways that life remains enriched is by lifelong learning. But you might be thinking, Jane, you aren't in the studio today, and I am not. I am out at Whitman Regional Airport, and I want to thank Whitman Airport for letting us come here to shoot today. And today's lifelong learners are a couple of gentlemen who have learned how to pilot airplanes after they retired from work. And so they're going to talk about some of the struggles of learning things later, a little bit later in life, but also the freedom and the joy that that brings. You know, you want to go hop to Canada and have lunch, well, you just hop in your little airplane and you do it. So flight can bring a lot of freedom. So I'm thrilled to bring you today's show, and I'm thankful to be at Whitman Airport.
At age 64, I had finished a stint as chairman of the chamber. The kids had been in the business for about 5 years, and I was going more into mentoring than I was active control. Yeah. And on my 64th birthday, I just said, now's the time to get my pilot's license. I wanted to get it before I was 65. I did my first check ride 5 days before my birthday and almost landed sideways. So I took another 2 months and finally passed my check ride and bought my first plane in 2010 and have been flying ever since. Wow.
So I was 59 when I took my first helicopter lesson. And then, well, helicopter's very expensive. I just couldn't afford to buy one.
Sure.
And I ended up building a kit. And the first kit, the company went out of business before I had completed it. And so I didn't feel comfortable with that anymore. In fact, they had some of my parts.
Oh,
so that ended up being donated to a EA chapter in South Dakota. And then I started on another one. But it's taken me forever to get it done. Sure. And so to get back in the air, I decided to go fixed wing. So I was 71 when I took my first fixed wing lesson.
Is there a difference between trying to learn now? Anything more difficult or easier, or?
I think the hardest thing, it was 40, 50 years since I took a written test.
Sure.
And, you know, back in the days when you were in high school or college, whatever, you were used to taking tests.
Mm-hmm.
When you're 65, you're not really that exactly. Taking tests anymore.
Right.
So I think the VFR, Visual Flight Rules, was easier because as you were going through the book, you would jump in the airplane and do the things that you would just
apply
discuss
it right
in the book
away.
and apply it right away. Mm-hmm. Now I'm still trying to get my instrument flight rating, and that's completely different. So I've taken 3 classes on instrument, and I probably should have taken a test once or twice, but things come up and all of a sudden you've got a 2-month lag, and that 2-month lag is very difficult to overcome.
Yeah. Anything you want to share about learning now versus?
Well, you know, when I first started with the helicopter and fixed wing, my ground school was all video courses.
Okay.
You know, started out, they were tapes originally,
Sure.
and now of course they're discs. But
Beta or VHS.
I didn't have any real problem with that part of it. But when you start flying, it seems like as you get older, you're more cautious. You know, you don't push on the stick quite as hard as you might have as a young person.
Sure.
And in many ways, I think that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add about, or encouragement you would like to give somebody if they're, you know, sitting on the fence about something they've always wanted to do? You know,
Do it.
Retirement is approaching, right?
Yeah, just do it. I mean, I've probably been more busy in retirement than I was when I was working, but I think that's
hear
because
that often.
you used to have a structure. You know, you were in the office by such a time, you had meetings, you had this and that. Once you get unstructured, you lose that, so you end up being busy, but not accomplishing quite as much. But it's also time to just set something aside and do what you've always wanted.
Yeah.
It's what life's all about. Now you've finally got the time to do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Exactly. No obstacles, just go for it.
Well, that, you know, what took me so long, you know, if you got a family to take care of and all that, you just can't devote that kind of time to yourself.
Right.
But now we're at this age, the
That's
family's
right.
taking care of themselves.
That's right. They're on their
Dad
own.
can have his fun.
That's right. I bet the kids are all going, Dad.
I have a grandson now that's 17, and he's getting quite interested in aviation.
Very cool.
So that was one of the big reasons I bought a plane of my own, so that he can start his flying.
Oh, neat. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story about, becoming a pilot, but more importantly about doing it later in life, and that, just go ahead and seize it and take on those things that you want to do, right?
Right.
Yes.
Good. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure.
Welcome back to the studio, and yes, I am back in the studio for the second half of today's show. So I do want to thank Dave and Jim again for sharing their story with us, and just remember, it's never too late to learn something new in life. And as a part of that, we are bringing you a new program at the Oshkosh Senior Center, and I have some guests today in the studio that are going to help me talk about this program, and it's an exciting one. It is with the Oshkosh North Communities students, and we're calling the program Senior Connects. Hi guys, first these are my guests today.
Hi.
Hi,
Would you please introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Danielle Shea, and I'm going to be a senior this year at Oshkosh North, and I've been part of communities my sophomore year through my senior year. It was a new program my sophomore year, so.
Okay, and who are you, young man?
I'm Brandon Wells. I too am going to be
Brandon
a senior
Wells.
at Oshkosh North High School, and this is also my third year of being part of communities.
So Brandon, I hear you have just a wonderful mom and a really great thing. Sorry, embarrassing my kid if I can. All right, but actually we have something really cool that we are here to talk about today. And it's a new program that we're trying to work with Oshkosh North community students on and the Oshkosh Seniors Center. Okay, and it's called Senior Connects. And so what we find is that technology is going at such a rapid pace. And sometimes it's a little bit harder for seniors to know the devices and to learn how to do it. And that's where the students come in. But first, what communities, what does that mean? What exactly is communities, and how would you explain it to somebody who's not familiar with it? Danielle, if you want to start out.
So Communities is an interdisciplinary learning program. So we take science and social studies and English and marketing and leadership, and we put them all together, and we learn how to, all the content for the class, and then
Okay.
do projects in the community. So the projects, like I said, we learn the content and we learn everything that everybody else learns in a traditional classroom, but we do hands-on learning. So we're applying it to our lives, and we're learning, more about technology and more about different programs on the computers and the iPads and all that kind of stuff. So we can continue to use that in our lives and apply it to our lives in college and our futures and enrich ourselves.
Right. But the class, I mean, you're not, okay, this 15 minutes we're only studying marketing. It's not compartmentalized like
Right.
that. Is that correct?
So interdisciplinary means that it's like kind of all together. Like it fits. So you don't have to worry about like in a traditional classroom. It's going to be like this
Right.
hour you're going to
Right.
have social studies,
Right.
and this hour you're going to have science, and this hour you're going to have English. It's all combined. So it can be like we're working on a writing piece, but every component of our social studies and English class and marketing is in that writing piece. So all of the different classes will get what they need from the piece and grade
Right.
you on the different parts. So
Right.
it's all interdisciplinary. You just learn as you go and
Sure.
put it all together.
Right. And Brandon, now projects are a part of it. And so can you tell us maybe some of the projects that you've been involved in or things that you've especially enjoyed doing or learning?
Yes. One of the ones that we did was the Veterans Dinner, and we did that over by EAA. It was a new Veterans Museum that we helped open up, and we had a Veterans Dinner, and we had we interviewed a bunch of veterans and showed their videos of us interviewing them. We also did iPads for autism, and we raised enough money to get 10 iPads and 10 $50 gift cards for each iPad, and most of the people on the wait list got their iPads.
So then after you purchased those iPads, they were distributed to people or families that had an autistic child or
Yeah.
people who were, very
And then they
cool.
got the gift card to get the apps and stuff that they need for the autistic child. And we also did a sustainability project, and we partnered with Growing Oshkosh for that, and we helped Danny Stoley plant and water and take care of her plants with the new greenhouses.
Very good, very good. So obviously it's not just within the school. You go out into the community and you do different things like that. About how many kids are in the program?
There's two. The first year it was just freshman and sophomore, and there was 75 kids, and then the year after we added on communities too, which was sophomores or juniors and seniors. Sorry.
Okay.
And that was 54 kids this year, and we're gonna push get more kids involved in it this year. So total this year we're gonna be around 150 kids, maybe a little less than that. But all of those kids, it'll be about 75 in communities 1, still freshman and sophomore, and then still 75 in communities 2, hoping to get that number up some more too.
Sure. So I'm sorry, tell me again, when did you start out in the program?
The program is new my sophomore year.
Okay.
So that was when it really kind of kicked off, and it was a pilot-based program at that point. So it was just, is it going to work? Can we get all of the content in? And lots of kinks the first year, but I think every new program does, and we work it out, and every new project brings its tricks and its fun stuff, and so we work with that and get it done. So.
Right. And Brandon, you've been involved since sophomore year as well.
Halfway through my sophomore year.
Right. And so you guys will be the first graduating class to have been a part of the communities program.
Absolutely.
So tell me, Brandon, what's a typical day like?
Well, we go in the classroom. This year it's 6th and 7th hour. And we basically just go in the classroom, and there's 3 teachers, and we talk about what the agenda is for the day. And then we start doing what we're supposed to do. Like if it's a project, then we go work on the project. If it's more like computer-based things, we get Chromebooks, so we go on the computer, so we use our own devices to research and do all the projects and homework that we need to be doing.
Okay. So is there a process for kids who would want to be involved in communities, or is it open to just anyone, or how does that work? Because I would imagine there might be more kids interested in it than what can be accommodated at this point. I don't know for sure.
So we have to maintain the student-to-teacher ratio. So kids that are interested in it they can go to the website, communities, onhs.org, and there's a little apply now button. So you can click on that, and a form will come up. You just fill that out, and then it comes back to our teachers. They kind of sift through and kind of find kids that sometimes it's just kids that don't learn very well in a traditional setting. Kids that have different learning disabilities, and it's just they need to be more hands-on. Hands-on is the way their brain works and the way they think. And so because of that, they try and pull different people. I mean, there's people that do perfectly fine in a traditional classroom. They just want something different. They want to experience, and some people just love volunteering, and our projects are a lot of volunteer work. And so because of that, everybody is kind of they pull out the ones that they're like, this probably isn't going to work very well. And then after that, they bundle them all up, and then it's just a drawing of who gets in. They know how many spots they need to fill, or how many can be filled to keep that student-teacher ratio, and whatever they pull, those are the names that get in. The rest go on a waiting list, and if someone drops out or they decide the program's not for them within the first couple of weeks, we pull someone else in to fill the spot.
Okay. And, it's really a school within a school. And it's not your whole day, because you still have classes, mainstream classes or whatever. So this is just a component of your day to learn these specific subjects. And like you said, it addresses different learning styles, which is really neat, and gives an option, for learning things differently.
Absolutely.
So how this all ties into the Oshkosh Senior Center is we are going to partner with the Communities program at Oshkosh North High School. And because our seniors have needs, you guys have knowledge, and we're going to put that two together. You actually have needs too that our seniors are going to meet. You just don't know that yet. And so this new program is going to be called Senior Connects. And we are hoping to kick it off in the fall. You guys aren't quite in school yet, so this was kind of new to you in terms of, this is what we're doing, guys. But our end result is that we want seniors to be able to connect with their family, with friends, with each other through technology and through devices. And so just a little bit curious, because oftentimes when I say I work at the Oshkosh Senior Center, people assume that we're a live-in facility or things like that, and that's not at all what we are. We're an activity center. So I'm just wondering, what is your impression, Brandon, of seniors and when I say seniors, what do you think of?
I think of stories of the past and like what they've all been through. Like if it's a veteran, then think of like what they've all been through in war. And I think that their stories are very neat, and I wanted to learn more about their stories and where they've been and what they've all seen, and the technology and stuff that has been developed, new cars and new buildings, new computers and new cell phones, all this stuff that they didn't have when they were kids.
Right. Danielle, any thoughts on seniors? I know you have grandma living with you, and so you kind of have a different insight.
Yeah, so I have my grandma that lives with us, and she's been with us for almost eight years now, if not a little more. So so I'm pretty used to kind of being around her, and she attends the senior center every day. She used to do baskets there, and so we had lots and lots and lots of baskets because that was just something that she loved to do. She could go and meet with her friends and everything. She's arthritis now, so it gets a little bit harder with her fingers, and it starts to hurt a little bit, so she hasn't done as many, but it's really cool. You get to hear so many things about the past, and just see them flourish in their own ways still. I mean, everybody's still their own person and own character, and she always makes us laugh. So
that's very good. So what do you think your peer group, some predispositions they might think about seniors?
Boring.
Okay, yeah, could be.
I think just that they don't do a lot. Most stereotypical is they just sit at home, or they're the ones that just or they drive slow. That's very big stereotype.
So, and one of the goals of the program is to shatter those stereotypes. And also, I think that seniors might have stereotypes of teens, thinking they're rude, they're maniac drivers, or So part of it is we want these two different generations that are really quite far apart age-wise to blend just a little bit more and to have a better understanding of each other as well. So. So one of our goals, of course, is to connect the seniors, or to teach them how to use these devices. And who's got that knowledge?
We do.
You do, exactly. Do you guys want to take just a minute here? These are just some samples of things that we hope to be teaching people, but do you kind of want to explain what some of them might be?
Sure. So we have a MacBook, an HP.
Which is a laptop computer,
yeah.
Right?
So the two big ones are laptops, two different,
operating systems.
Yeah.
Brands.
HP and a Mac. And then this is an iPad, so a little bit bigger, smaller screen than a laptop, but still big enough that you can fully see what you're doing, and bigger keys and stuff like that. And then an iPod, and then a phone, an Apple phone, and then the other phone is a Galaxy S5. So
Right. And this might sound, like a foreign language to some people, trying to decide, or, well, how do I know what I need, and blah, blah, blah. So one of the things we hope to do with this program is kind of explain devices a little bit. And in fact, in September, when we first kick off, that is kind of going to be one of our intro things, is what to buy. What do you want it to do? First of all, even explaining what things can all do, because you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And then guiding a little bit about how to use those different devices, or what to buy to meet your particular needs. So so the role that community students are going to play. Do you guys want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, we're going to come in, and we are going to assist seniors that want to get more involved with technology, and teach them how to learn, or teach them how to use the device and what's best for them. Because obviously, you have a bigger computer, and that's easier, bigger screen, bigger, pictures and stuff, but you have the keys right in front of you. You have something that's just one screen, no keys, but the keys are on the screen. So kind of going through some of that stuff, and getting to see what they want in the device, helping them pick something out that's going to work for them. So,
but even before we get to that point, one thing we're going to do with you is we're going to have you go through a process called Imagine Aging, and it's going to you'll wear some glasses to kind of show you how eyesight changes as a person ages. You might even have to have something on your hands to show you what it feels like to have those arthritic fingers and you're trying to touch these micro dots and text and all that other stuff, so that you can have a better understanding of where the senior is at. We're also hoping to have somebody come in and talk to seniors about teens, because growing up today is very different than when we grew up. So we hope to have a better understanding of that, and that's all going to kick off in September. We want to have a nice warm fuzzy meet and greet where kids get a chance to meet the seniors and seniors get a chance to meet the kids. And then in October and November is when we're actually hoping to do some of this one-on-one training, and we are applying for grants right now. We hope to have some devices at the center, so if an individual does not have a device, but they know they're going to purchase one or get one as a gift down the road, and they want to learn how to use it. So we'll have devices for people to use, in addition to bringing in their own and what they can. But part of it is, like you talked about, communities addresses different learning styles. That never changes. Even as you age, you still have a learning style, and so how you teach might be different than how you teach. And so what we want to try to do is make sure we're matching that up right. So things like that. So Brandon, if a senior wants to become involved in this, do you know what they need to do?
Go to the senior center and ask at the front desk.
Right, they can go to the senior center or they can call our direct line, and that number is 232-5300. So if a senior wants to become involved in this, they just need to call the center, and actually many people have, and get on the list. We kind of have an interest list started. So again, it's 232-5300 to get your name on the Senior Connects list. And then on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons, starting in October, 25 students each day are going to come to the Senior Center to work one-on-one. And there'll be a different group on Tuesday than what comes on Thursday. So there'll be a total of 50 students from Communities program involved in this, and we hope to have, seniors lined up and matched up with those students. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting in October, you'll come down to the Senior Center and work one-on-one with seniors, trying to help them, trying to show them devices and things like that. And I think it'll be a really neat end result, because once they know how to do the devices and they know how to use Skype, or they know how to use Facebook, and they know how to shop on eBay, think about how that opens up their world for them.
Absolutely. I mean, you think about all the stuff that, we can do. I mean, I, go on Facebook and I post a status and it's like, oh, there's, how many people
Right.
that like it, or, it starts a conversation. I'm touring colleges right now, and I
Right.
posted something about the different colleges
Right.
I'm thinking about, and people are commenting back like, oh, I've been to that one, or oh, I attend
Exactly.
it, and, but it gives me a better idea of,
Right.
people that have been there,
Right.
and done that. And
Right.
so that opens up a whole new door for them too. Like,
Exactly, and that's also one of the results, is that we hope in that as a teen you get a connection with a senior, and then you can benefit from their knowledge and their wisdom and things like that too. So
Absolutely.
we're excited to be kicking off this program. We're really excited to be partnering with the Oshkosh North Communities program. So we're looking forward to seeing you guys down at the center.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. And of course, September is just right around the corner for us. And at the Oshkosh Senior Center, September is dominated by our Fall Family Fun Fest. And I have a real quick video just to show you a little bit about what all happens at Fall Family Fun Fest. So let's roll the tape. Welcome back. So Fall Fest, Sunday, September 7th. It's a great festival, and as you saw from the photos, it's not just for seniors, it is for the whole community. We have music, we have games, we have food. It's really a great, great time. Also associated with that is the Granny Smith Walk Run, but we're going to talk about that in just a bit. But I would like to share with you other things that are coming up at the Oshkosh Senior Center during the month of August, because we have some really great shows or really great programs and opportunities coming up for you. So let's start to go through them. All right. So on Tuesday, August 12th, we have Growing Oshkosh with Danny, excuse me, and the sustainability through urban farming. And she has a really neat concept that she's trying to foster here in Oshkosh and make happen for all of us. So we're excited to bring Growing Oshkosh to the Oshkosh Senior Center. And again, that will be on Tuesday, August 12th. Then get ready to rock and roll, because we're going to have a big summer fling with Elvis and Patsy Cline. That's right, Elvis is coming to the Oshkosh Senior Center on Saturday, August 16th. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the doors will open about 1:30 that day. If you'd like to purchase tickets, you can purchase them in advance, $8 at the Oshkosh Senior Center, both buildings at the desks, or the tickets will be $10 at the door. Elvis, August 16th. Also coming up, we have what's called an intergenerational program. It's Buddy Up Bike Rides, Tuesday, August 19th from 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. And what we want is seniors and to grab their grandkids or their neighbors, or just kids that are in their life. And if you'd like to come and go on a really cool bike ride that morning and have a little snack and things like that, we invite you to do so. Again, Tuesday, August 19th, and call the center 232-5300 to reserve your spot on that. Coming up on Thursday, August 21st, is National Senior Citizens Day. Now, if you've been around the center at all and have looked out on the water, you might see this guy out there with these water jet things on his feet, and he usually draws a spectator crowd just even standing on the shore watching him. Well, his name is Troy Stowe, and it's called flyboarding, and Troy is going to come and do a demonstration for us. So we're going to bring your lawn chairs. We'll sit out on the lawn. We're going to have free root beer floats for you, and that again is Thursday, August 21st, 1:30 p.m. outside the South Building at the Senior Center. And oh, my aching foot health is so important. Tuesday, August 26th, 10:45 a.m. Come on in if you have questions about things that are going on with your feet or you want to learn, because a lot of times foot issues just hang on forever and ever. And it is really nice to kind of learn a little bit about that. And lastly, I do want to talk about the Granny Smith Walk Run, which will be on Sunday, September 7th, which is the same day as our Fall Fest. And kids 10 and under are welcome to participate in this free. We have a 5K route, $12 in advance, $15 the day of, 10 o'clock start time. And then we also have a 1 and 2 mile walk run route, $7 in advance, $10 the day of. And that would be the 10:30 a.m. start time. So the Granny Smith will take place out of the South Building. And the Fall Family Fun Fest, most of the activities there are centered in the North Building. So please come on down for August. We have a lot of fun things planned, and we're excited about things that are happening in the fall with the students. And let's just keep on learning and keep on enriching each other's lives. Thanks for watching Senior Savvy.